Chris Brown built a music catalog capable of paying him for decades, but a judge has reportedly ruled that money from his royalties and tour income can be pursued to satisfy a nearly $13 million judgment. And this raises much a bigger question for the music industry. What does owning your music really protect? Because an artist may still own the catalog while somebody receive some of the money is generated. Now, tonight, we're going to break down the difference between owning your music, controlling your income, and protecting the wealth that music creates. Artists are constantly told to own their masters because music can pay for the rest of their lives. But royalties are still income, and income can be collected as a target when a major judgment goes unpaid. Now, Chris Brown may continue owning his music while some of his money generated by the music is redirected before it even reaches him. That's the difference between owning the assets and controlling every dollar the asset produced. So, a Los Angeles judge granted Maria Avila request to pursue qualifying payments from Chris Brown's tour income and royalties towards satisfying her nearly $13 million judgment. Brown objected, and he could seek reconsideration or appeal. Hey, but before I keep going, it's your boy Klasic from Klasic Live. I'm a music producer / content creator. Work with the likes of Will Smith. Take that back. Not Will Smith. Will I Am, 50 Cent, Kid Ink, so many different peoples in the industry, man. I got my homie OG Corndog with me in the building. Before we start, I'm going to need y'all to do two things. Make sure that y'all hit that like and y'all subscribe. Get us in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not asking for no money. All we ask for is y'all support by just hitting that like, retweet, heart, whatever it is you got to do to make sure that, you know, we get visible and get seen. So let's break down everything of what happened. So the housekeepers began working at his house. Sisters Maria and Patricia, they were hired to clean Chris Brown's home in Tarzana, California, around November 2020. They knew dogs were on the property, but they said the animals were normally secured away from areas where they worked. Now, Maria was attacked in December of 2020. Maria went into the backyard to empty a vacuum cleaner. She encountered a roughly 200-pound Caucasian Shepherd used to guard the property. The dog attacked Maria, biting her face, her arm, her leg. According to court testimony and reporting, she suffered permanent facial and arm scarring, nerve damage, partial vision loss, mobility problems, emotional trauma, and injuries requiring hospitalization, surgeries, and skin graft. Now, her sister Patricia witnessed the aftermath and said she suffered serious emotional distress. Now, why is Chris Brown being sued? The lawsuit accused Brown and his company, Black Pyramid LLC, of failing to keep the property reasonably safe and failing to protect the housekeepers from a dangerous dog. This was a civil lawsuit, not a criminal dog attack prosecution. The central question was whether Brown was financially responsible for the injuries suffered by someone working at his home. And Chris Brown's defense was saying Brown argued that they had warned the sisters that the dogs were dangerous and that they should not enter certain areas without security. The sisters disputed receiving that warning. They also raised a language barrier issue that called into question whether such a warning had been properly communicated. Brown additionally testified that Hayes was used by the security operation to to protect the property from stalkers and intruders. So the dog, it wasn't Chris Brown dog, it was the dog of the security people that was on the premises. It wasn't simply just like a household pet. And Chris Brown acknowledged leaving before paramedics arrived. He said he was shocked by the blood and followed advice to leave because his presence could create a media circus. Emergency assistance was nevertheless summoned. Now, what the jury did after 2 weeks of a trial in Los Angeles, a jury sided with the Avila family on June 30th, 2026. And the recipients and the rewards, Maria was rewarded $12.9 million. The sister Patricia was awarded $885,000, and Maria's husband Oscar was given $50,000. Now, I'm trying to think. Now, they everybody's saying 13 million, but it's a little bit more than 13 million. But that's just the roundabout number that they're talking about. Now, why his royalties and touring income became involved after securing a judgment, Maria still had to collect the money. Her attorneys claimed Brown had not made payments and asked the court for access to qualifying entertainment income. A judge reportedly allowed her to pursue certain payments from touring income, music royalties, and other qualifying entertainment revenue. This did not mean Maria owns Chris Brown's catalog or masters. It just means certain money generated by his career may potentially be redirected, towards her. So, bro, from that breakdown of what I give you, what's your thoughts about all this, Brody?
Man, I didn't even know nothing about this lawsuit. That's crazy. But just to break it down like that, it's well deserved on their half. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't his dog, you know what I'm saying? It was on his premises. It was his security company that he hired. You know what I mean? So he's liable for that. Period. But the fact that they could come after the royalties is like, that's crazy because, why is that necessary? Unless you don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy because if you got the money, you just pay it, then they don't have to, or pay it or, take it out of your check that way. Like, why go after the royalties if you have the means to pay for it? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure 13 million, I mean, it ain't gonna hurt him that much. He's stacked up. You know what I'm saying? He's stacked up. So I would say, this is crazy for them to just is that like a clause saying that just in case he runs out of money or something, and then they can go after that way? You know what I mean? That's crazy, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, that raises a very good question. Why would they automatically go into upcoming resources other than just going into the bank and handling it that way? Maybe he's holding up everything and kind of refusing to pay because he don't like what actually happened. One thing that I heard that they said that they was doing, that during the trial they were allowed to bring in evidence as far as what happened between him and Rihanna. So exactly. That's my thoughts exactly, bro. How the fuck are you able to bring in stuff that happened between you and Rihanna years ago? How did that have anything to do with this current situation?
Really?
And that's what happened. So maybe Chris Brown don't like how everything was handled to the point it's like, I'll be damned if I pay you. You're gonna have to be forced. You're gonna be forced to make me pay type shit. Like, that's what it sounds like, because I think he's going for an appeal, and that's what happened not too long ago. He's trying to appeal everything.
Okay. Slow process, all that. But still, though, I mean, he's gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? So, and when he lose, he can still just pay it. They don't have to go after the royalties. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's I don't get that part because I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would you go after the royalties? How how is that going to make you gain ground? Even I mean, you already gained the ground. She's going to win the case. You know what I'm saying? When it's appealed, she's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that, dude. I only get it to see like in a way, like say, if he passed away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? So, but just to be going right after it immediately, uh, that's odd. Very odd. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This kind of raised well, let me go by some of these comments. Hey, we got Splashy in the building. We got Brian. Brian says, "Classic, keep Will Smith out, keep Will Smith out your mother effing mouth." Oh damn, yeah, my bad. Yeah, I made a blooper on that one. Brian said emotional damage. He also said Chris Brown shocked by blood. That's sus. Just ask Rihanna. Damn, that's damn. My nigga hit him with the low blows. Brian also said net worth is different than money on hand. To liquidate net assets can be expensive. And we got Icy Baby in the building. What's up, Icy Baby? You know who had a similar situation like that? The Game. Now I'm saying the Game lawsuit provided the Game lawsuit proved that a judgment doesn't only threaten the money an artist already has. It can follow the money the artist haven't even earned yet. When the Game releases new music, certain royalties and payments connected to his career could be redirected towards his 7.1 million judgment. The company pays him could be instructed to bypass him and pay the creditors. Now, this is what makes the Chris Brown situation bigger than one dog attack lawsuit. If the reported collection ordered survivors, his legals challenge, the issue isn't simply whether Chris Brown has 13 million sitting in the bank or not. The issue is whether the people paying him for touring and music can be ordered to redirect qualifying money before he ever receives it. Artists tell us that owning music create generational wealth, and that's true. But the Game case revealed the other side. A catalog also creates a traceable stream of income. When a judgment follows you, every album, royalty statements, and future payment can potentially become another opportunity for a creditor to collect. So it's kind of deeper than the fact of her just, the 13 million that she's getting. Yeah, Chris Brown can definitely get that out of his bank account. I know he got that for sure.
Right.
But for her to go after his royalties, it kind of shows that one, she haven't received payment, and this whole thing happened. Remember, it started 2020, and what year did they say everything was awarded? I think it said in 20. It was of this year, so that's down there like 5-6 years of you not working and shit like that, and you not being paid. So I guess she's doing that as a way to try to force him into giving her some type of payment. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that artists do tell people to own their music and all that stuff or whatever, but it just creates a situation to where you have visible assets. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like a situation where you can put things in other people's name to where if you get sued, it will show that you have zero in your bank account and your company got the shit or whatever. So Chris Brown is just in an unfortunate situation, and I do actually agree with you. It kind of sounds like they putting 30s on a Honda and shit like that, but it happened on Chris Brown property. And if anything happened on your property, then you're going to be held accountable for that. So, you know, it is what it is. I think you 100% right on that. But shit, let's get into this video. Starbuzz Daily, they covered this video and it says Chris Brown wants 13 million verdict, throw it out. New trial requested after dog bite lawsuit. Now, shout out to them and let's see what they're talking about in this video, man.
The legal battle surrounding Chris Brown just took another dramatic turn. And this time, he's refusing to accept a verdict that could cost him nearly $13 million. After a jury ruled against him in a highly publicized dog attack lawsuit, most people thought the case was finally over. But Chris Brown's legal team has now made a bold move that could change everything. They're asking a judge to throw out the entire verdict and give him a brand new trial, arguing that serious problems during the original case led to an unfair outcome.
Hey, bro, I hear like hella echo.
My bad, bro.
Are you good?
Outcome. So what exactly happened inside that courtroom? Why does Chris Brown believe the jury got it wrong? And could this massive payout actually disappear if the judge agrees with his request? The answers involve a years-long legal fight, claims of procedural mistakes, and an upcoming court hearing that could completely reshape the case. Here's everything we know so far, and why this story may be far from over. The story centers on a civil lawsuit that reached a major turning point earlier this month. A Los Angeles jury found Chris Brown and his company, Black Pyramid LLC, liable in connection with an alleged dog attack involving his housekeeper, Maria Avila. After hearing the evidence presented during the trial, jurors awarded Avila nearly $12.9 million in damages, a figure that immediately grabbed headlines and sparked intense debate online. For many people, the size of the award was just as surprising as the verdict itself. Civil judgments of this scale are rare, and the amount quickly became one of the biggest celebrity-related payouts tied to an animal attack case. Supporters of the decision argued the compensation reflected the severity of the injuries described during the trial, while others questioned whether the financial award was too high. At that point, it looked like the legal fight had finally reached its conclusion. But behind the scenes, Chris Brown's attorneys were already preparing their next move. Instead of accepting the jury's decision, they began challenging the outcome, setting the stage for another courtroom battle that could change everything. But to understand why this case became so controversial in the first place, we have to go back to the day the incident allegedly happened. According to court filings, the incident dates back to December 12, 2020, at Chris Brown's home in Tarzana, California. Maria Avila, who worked as a housekeeper at the property, said she was carrying out a routine task, taking out the trash, when she was suddenly attacked by Brown's Caucasian Shepherd, Hades. In her lawsuit, she alleged the dog bit her multiple times before the attack finally ended, turning what should have been an ordinary workday into a life-changing event. Avila told the court that the injuries were severe for the attack. She claimed she suffered significant wounds to her face and arm, underwent dozens of stitches along with skin graft procedures, and was left with lasting nerve damage that has made it difficult for her to continue working as she once did. Those allegations became the foundation of her lawsuit, with her legal team arguing that the physical, emotional, and financial impact of the attack would affect her for years to come. Throughout the case, the focus remained on what happened that day and who should be held legally responsible. After reviewing the testimony and evidence presented during the trial, the jury ultimately sided with Avila, leading to the multi-million-dollar judgment against Chris Brown and his company. But while the jury believed evidence supported that outcome, Chris Brown's legal team insisted the trial itself was deeply flawed, and that's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Just when it seemed the case was finally settled, Chris Brown made it clear he wasn't ready to accept the outcome. Instead of paying the judgment without a fight, his legal team filed official court documents asking the judge to throw out the verdict and order an entirely new trial. It's a move that has put the spotlight back on the case and reopened questions many believed had already been answered. According to the filing, Brown's attorneys argue that several issues during the trial prevented him from receiving a fair hearing. They claim there were irregularities in the court proceedings, raise concerns about alleged jury misconduct, and argue that the evidence did not justify the final decision. They also contend that the nearly $12.9 million awarded to Maria Avila was excessive and should not have been granted at that level. These are arguments made by Brown's legal team, and the court has not yet ruled on whether any of those claims have merit. Requests for a new trial are not automatically approved. and judges often set a high standard before overturning a jury's decision. Brown's attorneys will have to convince the court that significant legal errors affected the outcome enough to justify starting the case over. Whether those arguments succeed remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the legal battle is far from finished, and the next hearing could determine where this story goes from here. Now all eyes are on the next major court.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, yeah, for some reason I still see a signal on your mic, bro.
Shit.
All right, it look like it's better now. Brian said net assets for Chris is conservatively between 50 and 70 million. Just pay and be done with it unless there's more to Chris Brown financial future. Brian also said Brian also said that dog must have been in a league with Lucifer. Maybe Snoopy is behind this West Side Peanut Mafia. What the fuck? West Side Peanut Mafia. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like low key, Chris Brown is low key like dragging his feet on this. And if there's been a lot of things that's going on to where you feel like the trial wasn't actually fair, then yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like he's kind of in his feelings about the fact that, okay, well, the dog isn't my dog, but if it happened on your property, then you're responsible for that. Like, it's nothing, you can't really get around that at all. A couple of things. It's like, well, could an appeal pause or reverse the collection order? Normally, when you go for an appeal, I was about to say, I think whatever collection is postponed until whatever the final verdict, insists.
It's nulled.
Yeah. So the thing, like, I don't know. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's in appeal mode right now. And if you coming after the future assets, that means you're trying to get paid now before the appeal. That's not going to happen because the appeal has to go through, and then that you have to get a verdict from that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to wait till the appeal is done. And why go after the future assets when the appeal is done? You just get to get your little increments of payments. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be no lump sum. I'll tell you that. So maybe that's why they're probably thinking of that. You know what I'm saying? Get paid off the future increments off of royalties that way, because if he probably won't pay the lump sum.
Hey, I low-key said this earlier. Brian said this verdict can also set grounds for other lawsuits against Brown. Maybe they want quick money before the orange man departs them. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like if he get found, whatever, like let's say guilty for whatever it is, Chris Brown has had a slew of lawsuits against him. Like, I know somebody that had a situation where they was on a bus and they got ejected off the bus. Their phone was damaged and shit like that. I don't know if I think she low-key tried to sue and everything, and she probably got paid off, behind closed doors. But Chris Brown definitely had he's not no stranger to the law. Like, beyond the whole Rihanna situation, it was like a couple years ago to where they had people SWAT his house, where a female, try to low-key set him up, said some stuff was going on where she's being held against her will. There's been a couple of situations to where he had tour bus problems to where certain females had to get off and NDAs needed to be signed, but wasn't signed. So it was a lot of stuff that's going on with Chris Brown. And I do agree with what Brian said. If he get found guilty with this or whatever, and they awarded whatever cash and he was found negligent, this could set the precedent for other situations where he become, found guilty and liable for that also. So that's the thing. When you have these royalties, there's no way that you can say that you're broke. There's no way that you know what I'm saying, like how people transfer money other locations. There's no way you can avoid that because they can look at your statements. So they go, well, you estimated to earn X, Y, and Z, so you need to pay this up. And that's why I said with the game situation, yeah, he tried to say that he was broke and all that shit. And I'm not even I'm not even gonna lie. I think a lot of this stuff kind of started with the game to where artists try to say that they're broke, so they're like, "Fuck it, we're just take whatever assets or whatever earnings that you're potentially going to be making." Because if it was like 7 million that he was owed, they found a way to get that money from him real quick. So you know, it's
Hmm.
it's all on Chris Brown, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
He
it ain't
playing the
like
he's playing the long game.
yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
and to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to win that though, bro. Like you can
Yeah,
postpone. You, hey, Brian said it earlier. Just pay them the money, get this shit over with. But the flip side of that, you might have to worry about other people that's going to come and try to take more money from you. So maybe this is just like one of those pleas to where it's like, well, hey, if you see I'm fighting this case, you better think twice about what you think you want to sue me for because I take your ass to court all day long and you might lose, you know? So
yeah.
it's just kind
So
of crazy.
it like I said, he's playing the long game, and at the same time, he's being an asshole about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all ain't gonna get this right away. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably over there happy right now, huh? Oh yeah, well watch this. I'm about to appeal. Now I'm about to drag this in court. Now ain't no happy, nothing going on. You ain't about to get no check. You know what I'm saying? So, because I think he know he lost. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, he know he lost. So he's like, let's just drag it. You know what I'm saying? Let's drag it all the way. That way, the lawyer get paid more money, and you know what I'm saying. He's gonna take more money from them because we're gonna drag this along. He's just that type of game right there, bro.
Yeah, but low key, wouldn't you be pissed if they brought up a situation that you had 10, 15 fucking years
Yeah,
prior?
what that got nothing to do with the case?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous right there, bro. That is what that got to man. Come on, man, stop it. Well, stop it. Nah, I don't want to hear nothing like that, man. Like, I mean, the judge should have been like, what, looking at him like, hey, hold up, hey, I object. You know what I'm saying? The judge
That
is like,
part.
I object to all of this totally. What does this have to do with this? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
Hey, Brian said conspiracy theory. Chris broke that 666 contract with the industry.
Uh
Brian, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Yeah, elaborate on that. Hey, we got Lovely
oh.
Radio Show in the building. Hey, what's the word with it?
What's up, lovely?
She said, true, yeah, you can't trust anyone. Hey, and that's how it is, man. Like, it be people that get into your circle and shit like that, know your operation, and then turn around, end up suing you just because they're not happy with whatever outcome
Right,
happened and stuff. So
right.
nowadays, it's very vindictive, vicious. It's a cold world out there. People do whatever it is. So Brian said you never pay a ransom because the next guy will ask 2 times the last ransom, so and so forth. And that's what I'm saying. I low-key agree with that, bro. I think he is trying to set a tone of like, hey, bro, I'm not going to be no target to where y'all just going to be suing me and I'm just going to be settling out of court all the time. I could be wrong 100%, but nigga, I'll fight that bitch tooth and nail like I was innocent. You feel me? So I think like I agree with what's being said again. I think Chris Brown is trying to play the long game, but unfortunately, in this particular situation, like bro is wrong. Like if something happened on your property, once again, you're found liable for that, especially in California. Like we was talking about this on another situation where it's like, yeah, if somebody break into your house and you do something to them, you can down there be sued for them
Yeah,
coming into your establishment and shit like that.
right.
So California laws is kind of crazy and shit like that. So let's like let's keep it pushing, man. Let's see what else is going on with this video.
court date. A hearing has been scheduled for September 22nd, where the judge will review Chris Brown's request for a new trial and hear arguments from both sides. This hearing won't decide who was right or wrong in the original incident. Instead, the focus will be on whether the trial was conducted fairly and whether there is any legal basis to set aside the jury's verdict. The judge has several options. The request could be denied, leaving the nearly $12.9 million judgment in place. The judge could also agree that certain legal issues deserve another look. Although granting a completely new trial is generally uncommon and depends on whether the court finds significant errors that may have affected the outcome. If the motion is denied, Brown's legal team could still pursue further appeals through the courts. What's making the situation even more interesting is the timing. Chris Brown is currently on the R&B tour with Usher, performing for thousands of fans across the country while this legal battle continues in the background. The September hearing falls between scheduled shows in Las Vegas and Los Angeles, meaning he'll be balancing a major concert tour with one of the biggest legal challenges of his career. Whether the judge leaves the verdict untouched or allows the case to move in a new direction, the decision could have a major impact, not just on the lawsuit itself, but on what comes next for Chris Brown. As the legal process moves forward, the case is drawing attention far beyond the courtroom. Fans have been divided ever since news of the verdict broke. Some believe Chris Brown deserves the opportunity to challenge a decision they see as unusually harsh, especially given the size of the financial award. Others argue that the jury carefully reviewed the evidence presented during the trial and reached its conclusion for a reason. Until the court rules on Brown's latest motion, those debates are only growing louder across social media. One thing that's important to remember is that filing a request for a new trial doesn't erase the existing judgment. The nearly $12.9 million verdict remains in place unless the judge decides otherwise. Brown's legal team now faces the challenge of convincing the court that the alleged procedural problems were significant enough to justify reopening the case. That's a high legal standard, and it's something judges don't grant lightly. No matter which way the ruling goes, this lawsuit has already become one of the most talked about celebrity legal stories of the year. With a major court hearing approaching and the possibility of future appeals still on the table, the story is far from over. Everyone will be watching to see whether this marks the end of the dispute or just the beginning of another chapter in an already lengthy legal battle. For now, Chris Brown remains focused on his music career while his attorneys prepare for the next phase of the lawsuit. The courtroom battle and his nationwide tour are unfolding at the same time, creating a striking contrast between packed arenas and ongoing legal proceedings. Whether the judge ultimately agrees with Brown's arguments or allows the original verdict to stand, the upcoming decision could shape how this case is remembered for years to come. What makes this story especially compelling is that the final chapter hasn't been written yet. Brown's request for a new trial is simply that, a request. The court will decide whether the concerns raised by his legal team warrant another chance to argue the case. Until then, the original jury verdict remains in effect, and both sides are preparing for what could be another critical day in court. As more details emerge, this case will continue to attract attention from fans, legal analysts, and entertainment media alike.
Hey, that's real talk, though. That's definitely gonna Splash. What the fuck? Hey, Splashy, hey, mods on that platform, please time Splashy out. This nigga is tripping. Get him out of here real quick. Get him out of here real quick. We ain't doing none of that zesty shit, Brody. You gotta go. Brian said, people have lost careers behind something they did 15, 20 years ago. I guess he's talking about the fact of Rihanna and Chris Brown stuff being brought up. Yeah, that is true. Lovely Radio Show said the 666 deal was when he joined the Bloods. You feel me? Sheesh. That's very interesting right there now. Wait, Brian said I was ransomed and mom paid them to keep me. God damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Lovely Radio Show said the lady who broke a kid's hand from trying to break in her house, the judge said she was wrong because the kid hadn't entered the home. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. California got some of these crazy ass rules, bro. Lovely got a point. Yeah, man, that shit is crazy though. But what's your thoughts about this whole Chris Brown shit, bro? What's the future? What do you think is going to happen in the upcoming future with Chris Brown, bro?
Well, with this case right here, that they said it right here in the video was watching that, you know, if this is denied, he's gonna file for another appeal. You know what I'm
Run it
saying?
back.
We're just gonna drag it on even longer. And now the lawyer's getting paid more, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And they still just want to get that payment of the 13 million, you know what I'm saying? So how much are they gonna be getting by the time he done ran this through 3 more appeals or something? You know what I'm saying? And how many more years? So they said what they're gonna make a decision on the 22nd of September?
I think that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, the 22nd of September, right? That's coming up. Yeah, man, he gonna run it in the ground, bro. And you know, I was thinking about this too, like if he's doing this tour right now, he's basically working for free.
Low in essence, basically, you know what I'm saying? That the
You know what I'm
income money that
saying?
you're making is gonna have to be going out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
and kind of to go off of what Brian said earlier, Chris Brown's net worth is between 50 M's and 70 M's. Like 13 million, that's definitely enough money to change somebody's life. But nigga, if you get 3 or 4 of those, you know what I'm saying, you could be ended up filing bankruptcy. So I see why he's trying to set the tone as far as fighting this. But I'm starting to think like you got to be like that song. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and you know what I'm saying, know when to walk away. And
hey,
yeah.
and look, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm looking at the comment that Brian put up, 15 to which was their question too, the future of him. You know, people have lost careers behind something over 15, 20 years ago. But think about it, bro. This happened, I don't know, how many years ago?
In 2020.
No, I'm talking about with Rihanna.
Damn. Literally like down there 15, 20 years ago. Man.
Look where he's at now. This man is in stadiums, flying around the audience and stuff, dancing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? This man living his best life right now when it comes to him entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
he's still got a name. He's still out there doing it after that big mistake in his life right there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in his future, what I see, I say about a good 10 more years, solid form. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
Still
so
got a
basically,
name, still popular. You know what I'm saying?
so this is just another bump in the road for him.
You could say that. Like, you know, once you get over that, his royalties gonna kick back in. You know what I'm saying? Might even kick in more. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the future. So I see him as like, yeah, it's just another hump to get over. But at the same time, he just being an asshole about it and just dragging it along in court. And I'm like I said, he's getting a file for another appeal because he's gonna be denied. He's gonna have to pay. You know what I'm saying? But seems like he's playing a game right now.
Yeah. Hey, Lovely Radio Show said he's going to have to pay like the other big celebs. And
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Like eventually he is no way around that shit. And to kind of piggyback off what you said earlier, a lot of people done lost their careers for less. Now you didn't put hands and Mike Tyson uppercut this chick that's down there a Hollywood darling. What do you think the formula was to actually bring him back? Was it his PR team? Was it the fact that he's talented, or it was some stuff that was going on behind closed doors that he's quote unquote the chosen one?
I don't know, man. It's got to be the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like the man is the modern day Michael Jackson.
I was about to say that they comparing him to that. All right, now
You
with
know,
you saying that though, what's the difference between him and R. Kelly? R. Kelly's, I think, equally as talented. He's not on the stage dancing and all that shit, but when it comes to songwriting, R. Kelly is one of those ones.
oh yeah, and he can't read.
That part.
So yeah, that's amazing right there to be able to, put your words in perspective like that without not being able to read and write. You know what I mean? That's truly amazing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, comparing R. Kelly to him, the difference is R. Kelly in jail. Hey, so when it comes to comparison, like, you know, I see Chris Brown more as an entertainer. You know, like the tour, he's good tour wise. He's a good performer. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
a good money earner for the people.
Yeah, that too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I thought that what happened with Rihanna would probably really affect his career, but it didn't do nothing really. It didn't do nothing. Uh, R. Kelly, very talented. You know what I'm saying? Amazing songwriter. Uh, made one of the greatest songs that everybody can always remember. You know what I'm saying? Believe Like a Fly. Uh, That's a worldwide song right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I'm just thinking like, yo, if that wouldn't have never happened for him, or he wouldn't have never did all that, like, where would he be right now? He would still be performing. I think he would still be writing. He would still be making music. He would be writing songs for other people. R&B wouldn't be dead. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm thinking like low key. Didn't R. Kelly kind of sell his music catalog? Like when somebody go through adversity in the music industry, the only reason why they don't dispense you like they dispense everybody else is because either you have high connections in the industry or you're still profitable, making them a lot of money to where they try to overlook this shit. And the difference between Chris Brown and R. Kelly, Chris Brown is definitely younger. It kind of give me a vibe of changing of the guards to where R. Kelly has already laid his track work out to where people like him, people don't like him in the industry. So he could have rubbed the wrong people the wrong way. He's not earning the same amount of money. And you have this new up and coming person, Chris Brown, that they're willing to invest in, over R. Kelly. So, Chris Brown is definitely, and that's why I said R. Kelly is not on stage dancing and doing all these moves and shit like that, but Chris Brown is. Chris Brown got these crazy tours that where people paying thousands of dollars just to take pictures. So Chris Brown is definitely marketable to where if you're marketable, then you're profitable. And he's earning these labels a lot of money. Now, if he was on some independent shit to where he wasn't signed to a major or whatever it was, then that'd probably be different to where they'll try to shut the shit down because they're not basically making a lot of that money. But it's crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Chris Brown, he didn't go to jail for the Rihanna situation, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
When you have money like that, let me look this up. Did Chris Brown go to jail?
He would have to get arrested. He had to get arrested, dude. You had to get arrested for something like that, dude. For sure. For sure.
Chris Brown did not go to jail
what
for the 2009 assault on Rihanna. Instead, he pled guilty to a felony assault and received a sentence of 5 years of probation.
Damn. Wow. That's crazy.
Well, Brian said, did he need to get probation? Yeah, you got probation, of course. Like, they're not going to let you walk away scot-free to where you're not going to get no slap on the wrist or nothing to happen. Like, probation is nothing, though. You know what I'm saying? You can be on probation and still be earning money from creating new records and shit like that. So,
yeah, 5 years is a long time to be on probation, though. Shit.
Hell yeah, nigga.
God
like,
damn.
Yeah. That's no doubt about it, nigga. What else did he burn on? And another one, and another one, and another one. An artist isn't the only thing that takes hits. His manager, record company gets the stank. Other can be costly. All of the above. You can't unborn charcoal. R. Kelly going to come out with his masters in English and a model's walk. If people stick to their morals and center, knowing people are looking for you, to slip up, you have to be smarter and wary of everyone. Yeah, you definitely have to work. Like that's the thing. Like low key, you don't really like Chris Brown. Don't necessarily have a extensive entourage like that, and I think he's kind of learning like how to operate and maneuver. That all the people that surround you don't necessarily mean you good like that. So yeah, Chris Brown is definitely going to have to end up paying for this situation. Shout out to what's this people? Starbuzz Daily, salute to them. And now there's a video by the Breakfast Club that they did. It's like a 2-minute video. We're gonna check that out and see what they're talking about. But it's like they basically talking about the same thing, and I think they might have some different information about everything. So let's see what they got to say on the Breakfast Club.
Chris Brown, remember we talked about the dog bite trial, and him pushing back and saying like, that $13 million was crazy and that he wants a new trial.
Yes.
So Chris Brown has been filing more documents since we talked. And recently he filed one explaining why he feels like the trial didn't go fair for him. So of course he's talking about everything with the jury. Remember that happened and they had to refigure out the jury. But he's also bringing up the fact that they allowed testimony about all of the past stuff with Rihanna. He says it's unfair. He asked the judge before it happened.
This trial?
Yeah, and he before they allowed it, Chris Brown's team was like, that has no connection. Like, why would you even allow this?
Right.
But they went on to allow it. So now he's pushing back and saying it wasn't fair. That was like I was 20 years old. It was 17 years ago.
I wouldn't even be explaining that dog bite case. What the hell that got to do with my dog biting somebody?
I know. Well, a lot of times when you're in court, they do things and bring in other things to try and like paint a picture of the person's character.
What that got to do with the dog? The dog is the one who bit the person, not me.
Girl.
I didn't bite her. If he bit her, if Chris actually bit her, I would understand that.
Right.
It was the dog.
In the deposition, they ask a bunch of crazy questions, but during the trial, they shouldn't be going. Like you said, it's the dog that did the bite.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he says Chris Brown is insisting, and I actually agree with him, that the arrest being discussed it prejudiced the jury and made them basically think unfairly about him. So he's saying that they need a new trial. The judge hasn't ruled on that yet, but that'll be the next update.
That's some retarded jurors. If them jurors got on that stand and they listened to a case about a person, and it was a dog that actually bit somebody, and they let the old case about a person impact how they ruled on this. That's stupid.
But they're trying to say, what they're trying to say that he's not a responsible owner because he allowed his dog to get out and be able to do that. That's why I guess they're trying to get into his background. But at the end of the day, the dog did the biting, right?
A 20-year-old incident that had nothing to do with a dog.
Nothing. Like them two things do not.
But that's what they were trying to explain. It makes no sense. But that's
what they're trying to break
down.
But yeah, that's retarded.
But it makes no sense.
Yeah,
I don't get how those two are related at all.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy to bring up something that happened 20 years ago on something that's totally unrelated. And now that the future question is what they're going to do to that dog. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to deem that dog as a threat and then put the dog down and shit? That'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they do to the pit bulls.
Oh, for sure. All day, every day, bro.
So I guess since it ain't a pit bull, they ain't going to do it? That's racist.
Dogism, nigga. Like, what the hell? That's some crazy shit, though, man.
Yeah, man, it is, dude.
Wait. Oh, shit, my tripping. The thing with this whole Chris Brown stuff, man, is like, is it even worth that to where they can target his touring income and his royalties and all that stuff? Why not just make him pay that shit out of pocket? Like the judge don't have any type of say so of where the money's coming from.
That, and is it going to be paid in a lump sum or increments? You know what I'm saying? Of payments.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, maybe they want the lump sum or something, and that's the way to get it.
And reviewing everything, the trial was 2 weeks. On June 30th, that's when everything was awarded to them. So June 30th, 2026, and this situation happened in December of 2020.
Damn.
And you only been working there since November. So you've been working there just for 30 days a month, and then you ended up getting bitten by the dog.
Damn.
Now, I understand it happened on his property, but another thing that kind of I did not thought about it. You telling me that there was a language barrier to where you didn't understand, don't go around this dog or whatever. It wasn't communicated to you on that, but you can do everything else properly that was understandable. So like, I think that's like some bullshit. To be honest with you, I do agree. Like, I might just have to say, like, we might got some right on both sides. I believe, okay, he did fuck up. It's on his property, but at the same time, it seemed like these motherfuckers are opportunists too, because like a month and you into some shit with the dog, and you're blaming the fact that you couldn't understand. And if you're saying this dog, if people was warning you about a dog, wouldn't you think that the presence of that dog will be a dog that's always barking or growling? Or do you think that dog was just a well-mannered dog to where it's just sitting there looking quiet and stuff? 9 times out of 10, they said it's a 200-pound German Shepherd. You feel me?
Yeah.
German Shepherds, they're not like the most aggressive of dogs, but they're very protective. You know what I'm saying?
They aggressive. I got a wolf pack across the street, man. Them motherfuckers crazy.
I would like, well, you got King Corsos, you got Pit Bulls, you got German Shepherds, you got Rottweilers. German Shepherds, I think they're very good protective dogs. I don't think they're just labeled as like crazy, just wild ass dogs like the Pit Bulls get the reputation, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I do know that they're vicious and stuff like that, but just overall, at the end of the day, a 200-pound German Shepherd. You telling me that motherfucker looking dainty like some little Chihuahua? Like even Chihuahua.
No, that's a big ass dog.
Exactly. So why the fuck would you bring your ass in the area where you know that dog will be at without being monitored or whatever it is?
They did mention that they knew that they had dogs on premises and they would put the dogs away when they were in their workspaces. So I guess, she out there working and they didn't put the dog away. You know what I'm saying? They were irresponsible for putting knowing that the housekeepers is there and you still got the dog out in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were saying, that they would put the dogs away or they wouldn't be around in their work area or their workspace. So it's irresponsible on that person who was handling the dog. Really. Shit, Chris Brown ought to sue his ass.
Damn. Hey, so it's gonna be a domino effect, huh? A lady suing Chris Brown, and then the bodyguard gonna be suing Chris Brown. Like, god damn.
No, I'm saying Chris Brown should sue the security guard or the
security.
Yeah, get your money back.
Damn.
Oh man.
They got it, man. This situation is crazy, bro. And it just really raises a valuable question. I know there's different ways that you can manipulate your money to where it appears as if you don't own anything, but you're actually an owner of multiple different things. But that's a certain level of financial literacy that a lot of people aren't really on. They think the biggest flex is to have the 30 million, the 50 million in their bank account, when you actually should have it in other accounts to where it's making money for you off the interest alone. You feel me? So Chris Brown, sound like a broken record, but Chris Brown, he's at fault for this. He's gonna have to end up paying. But the thing is that will this start having more people come out the woodwork to try to sue him? Because having an estimate of $50 million to $70 million, like I said, after a couple of lawsuits, that shit can dwindle pretty fast. So will he be down there just working for lawsuits and shit like that in the near future? Or will this lawsuit campaign actually end? So it's just like, I don't know, man. I think we're not going to hear the end of this right now. Like he's filing for this appeal, and we're going to see what's going to happen with that. And it's crazy that this situation that happened in 2020, the end of 2020, is still prevalent and relevant to 2026. So imagine like the lawyer fees that's that has accumulated for the lady. And I don't know if her sister Patricia got a lawyer also, but the crazy part about it, like how the hell a husband get awarded $50,000 for what?
Yeah. He was on the premises too? And he got 50?
50K.
Did they all get bit?
No. Maria's the only one that got bit, but her sister Patricia is talking about, I saw what happened and I'm just scarred for life.
Okay, yeah,
get the fuck out of here. That's worth $1 million. Come on now. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo.
That's why I said, like, it sounds like some clout chasing type of shit, bro. Like, you really just, you knew what you possibly can get into. That's just like somebody fucking going into a cage of a lion, and then they get their ass ate off, and then now they want to sue the fucking zoo. You feel me? Like,
damn.
You already knew that there was a dog over there. Honestly, on some real shit, if you're this person that's this maid, you already seen where the dog is at. So wouldn't you take special precautions before you enter that area? If I seen this big ass, oh yeah, I know if I go around the corner, it's this big ass dog, so I'm not gonna be but yeah, I'm gonna be very cautious of where I'm going. You feel me? To where I'm not gonna be getting my ass bit. But sometimes people be looking for that type of shit for a fucking paycheck. Now she got a laceration on her face. You know, like she had a laceration on her forehead. Nigga, if you see a 200-pound dog can do way worse damage than that. Motherfuckers done died from getting mauled to death.
Yeah.
Like people done lost limbs from getting mauled. You know, so my thing is like you really kind of milking this whole situation. You feel me? Like it is what it is. Two things could be right. I do think that, all right, Chris, since it happened on his property, they're at fault. But could that situation been avoided? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's up to the handler of the dog. You know what I'm saying? That was really his fault. He was the one that was negligent. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Christian had nothing to do with it. Christian owned the dog. You know what I'm saying? It happened on his property. He hired the company. You know what I'm saying? He hired a negligent company. You know what I mean?
Hey, I agree. And Chris Brown, you sue that nigga ass now.
Yes.
Shit, nigga, it's a three-way. I'm getting sued, nigga. You getting sued. We all getting sued in this bitch. Nigga,
exactly. That's how I see it, bro. Get your money back.
That's some straight bullshit on everything.
Yeah, it's a cold game, man. It's a cold game. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lovely said they taking his tour money too. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this nigga's working for lawsuit money, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. He out there working for free right now, bro.
Wait, what?
Basically,
Brian said he got rewarded because he's tired of hitting it from the back because she's too bully to look at it. Wait, what?
Damn, Brian talking. Brian talking about.
Hey, Brian on his shit right now, man. I don't know what happened, but yeah, man. Yeah, dope discussion, man. I guess on the next live, I know some other things going to happen. We could have talked about the Dr. Dre AI situation, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of AI'd out. You know what I'm saying? It's just it seems like every day is something new with motherfuckers joining the side of AI, and then we got the whole Little Dirk snitching, turning this whole case around to where it's like we already know the streets been dead. You know what I'm saying? There's never been no loyalty to the streets. You can give in all your time and effort, but it'll turn on you in an instant. And I decided that we could talk about this because a lot of people not covering it, and I think it was a dope conversation. I think you brought some good opinions about this stuff that's going on. And yeah, man. Shit, we go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure y'all hit that like, retweet, follow, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to make sure you get us in the algorithm. You know, you follow me at Klasic Live. You follow the homie at OG Corndog Reacts. We on the road to get our first 500 subscribers. So all the stuff that y'all do to help us get there, we appreciate it. We trying to get our 4,000 hours done now before the 4,000 turn into 8. You feel me? Yeah. So we working. We constantly working, And if y'all appreciate authentic conversations about topics that a lot of people don't talk about, but come from a point of view that's very well educated and well researched on, then y'all need to hit us up, man. So before we go, you got anything, any last statements to say, bro?
Nah. Thanks for everybody showing up. You know what I'm saying? Support your boy, Klasic Live. You know what I'm saying? That's where the K1 is. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Get us in that algorithm for real, man.
Yeah. Hey, Brian said AI is everywhere. Next week, Klasic will be AI. Goddamn. That's crazy. Yeah, man.
AI corn dog, huh?
Yeah, for real. Hey, might as well, man. But yeah. Appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. We had a dope show tonight. And yeah, pull back up for more, man. So on that note, we gonna be out. Peace.
Yo, you now rocking with classic music. Now what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Yeah, let's get it.